Berrien Memorial United Church of Christ, we're often referred to just as Berrien Church, has been in this building in Montrose since the 1930s, having moved from downtown Houston. We have a beautiful church building, though few actually enter through these front doors. But what do you know about the area inside? If you look at the main part inside, the two-story part that includes the altar area, the pews, and enclosed by these gorgeous stained glass windows, this is called the sanctuary. So indeed, the place where the service actually happens. Just north of the sanctuary, in the middle, is the choir loft. This is where the choir sits and where the organ console is located. Now, dividing the choir loft from the sanctuary is a wooden choir rail. Outside of a physical separation, it holds elements of the service. On the left or westmost end is a holder for an acolyte candle lighter. As you move to the right, you'll have a candelabra, our primary cross, the other candelabra, and on the end, we have the processional cross in the front and another candle lighter in the back. Now, in front of the choir rail, so the semicircle raised area is called the chancel. This is where the service is focused and led. In the chancel, we have the pulpit, which is where the message or sermon is presented. We have baptismal font in front of it, which was used for baptism. And if there is a baptism, there will be a table to the left of it with the water pitcher for the baptism. In the center is the altar, the holy table where communion is blessed and holds the communion candles. To its right is the lectern, where the lessons are read. In front of it is a small table for holding the communion elements once they're brought forward and after serving. In a semicircle in the front of these structures is the communion rail, where, literally, communion is offered to the congregation. Now, to the left of the choir loft is a small room called the sacristy. Here's where preparations are done for communion. Also, all of the chancel candles are stored in here in addition to the paraments, the cloth and linen coverings for the various chancel areas. Now, if you go the other side of the choir loft, there is a room, well, actually it's just a walkway called the hallway. This allows passage from the sanctuary to the elevators and stairs. Now, if we turn around and look at all the pews, this area is called the nave. So basically, the nave and the chancel make up the sanctuary. Now, behind the sanctuary, behind the pews, in the center is a room called the narthex. Back here, we have the other communion table for standing communion. We have connections to the entrances on either side, and in the left corner, or the eastmost corner, is the storage for the processional cross and the acolytes' candle lighters. The two entrances on either side of the narthex are called vestibules. The east vestibule has an opening that connects to the narthex. Down the stairs, the east front door. A cabinet where you have your name tags. Within it is the children's activity packets. You can get to the courtyard hallway, stairs down to the fellowship hall and restrooms. And as we come back up, pictures of our previous preachers and stairs to the balcony. The west vestibule is very similar to the east one, except you can't get to the courtyard directly from here. The cabinet where name tags are at. You have the west front door, stairs down to the fellowship hall and restrooms, and stairs to the balcony. Now, above the narthex and vestibules is an area called the balcony. It provides extra seating, location of bell ringers, and where our audiovisual equipment is managed. In the east corner of the balcony is located the lay vestry, more commonly called the robing room. This is where worship leaders get dressed for the service. Now, this was a quick overview. This slide shows the names of each of the areas if you wish to check it out again. Thanks for getting to know Inside Berean Church a little bit better.